Talk about the NBA playoffs.
All right, we will see. All right, welcome to our second match of today for Battle for Wisconsin. I am Rattler. I'll be one of your casters for today. I'm a tank player for MSOE. And Aiden, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yep, and I'm Aiden. I'm a support player for MSOE as well, and I'll be joining Jack here.
All right, perfect. Yeah, it should be. I'm super excited for this game. Whitewater, Stout, definitely two very proficient teams.
Very good teams. We've played both of them
That we
just a
have.
little bit, and we've seen that they're some of the better teams in the tournament. So this is going to be a really good matchup.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, I have no idea what could happen. Anything could happen. All right. Why don't we take a look at the map pools for today? All right, perfect. So our first map here is going to be Lijiang. We know that for sure. So that'll be really fun, regardless of what happens. I know that at least Whitewater is very prepared for Lijiang. They've got we've seen what they can do firsthand, and they're definitely a team that if Stout is not prepared, they'll definitely be caught off guard. So we'll see what happens there, and then
We know Whitewater loves to play aggressive, so
that they do.
Stout might get ran over if they don't prepare for that.
That is true. That is true. All right. And then yeah, escort. A very honestly, I think this pool is very poke favored with Circuit and Rialto. But also at the same time, Watchpoint, Root, and Rialto could all be very dive favored. So I know that Whitewater tends to like playing that brawl or rush. So I'm very curious to see what they could do there. Then again, their circuit's also very strong. So honestly, just a lot of great picks for escort. Classic Flashpoint. Not much to talk about there. Yeah. All right. Now moving on to the rosters. Aiden, why don't you talk a little bit about Whitewater?
I'm having some technical difficulties actually, Jack. If you
Oh,
can take over for now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Figure it out.
you're good. So I know that minute 6 is his Orisa and his Ramatra are actually very good. So I'm the I'd be pretty surprised if they weren't rolling out on the Orisa here for their Lijiang. I know that's something they've been trying. Um, whether or not that works into Stout remains to be seen. And I know Bark also tends to be a pretty hard carry. For Whitewater, he does a lot of really good work. Definitely very annoying support player to play against. He's very very talented. As well as Devin Hughes at Arc on damage is really, I mean, I can't think of like another team that has that consistent of a DPS line. Having played against both of these DPS players multiple times, it's very they're very very threatening if not dealt with properly. And yeah, that's for sure. All right, and then looking at Stout's roster, I know that very curious to see what Master Bubble can do, or if that is who they field. Um, as minute 6 can definitely is very adaptable player. He's very um, very very willing to change to the things that are going around him. Definitely prone to counter swapping. So if Master Bubble's not prepared to match, we'll see how that goes for them. And I know the rest of the Stout roster, I'm sure, is very well prepared for the game ahead. Lots of scrims, lots of lots of preparation, and this is definitely going to be an exciting one. So, taking a look at the bracket here, earlier today, Carthage beating River Falls 3-0 in a very exciting game. Carthage running there, honestly, at this point, I'd say trademark ball with Lunar Synergy. So whoever wins this game is going to have to deal with that. A little slightly unorthodox comp, but with this new patch, that ball comp has become really far more of a threat than it was pre-patch, pre-season 10. And then the loser of this match is going to have to go against River Falls. And I know River Falls is really capable of some sneaky things. So whatever the loser of this match has to deal with there to try and climb back into the grand final through the losers bracket, I know for sure it will at least be very interesting to see. Um, and then later today, we've got our next match at Stevens Point versus Milwaukee. That should be great. I'm pretty sure us at MSOE have fought both of these teams, and they were both very good. They really put up a great fight and were very adaptable. So that should be an interesting match to see. And then, of course, it's our match versus Madison. So that, I mean, anything could happen. I don't want to give spoiler. I mean, we've got obviously strats lined up. We're very prepared. All right, so jumping into the game, we've got minute 6 on the Ramatra and Master Bubble on the Orisa. Interesting. I think the Orisa is probably more what we've seen recently as far as the meta goes, but let's see what happens. An early kill on Bark on Control Center here. And it looks like Whitewater is just opting to retreat. So one very important part of running these rush comps is which Lucio is going to get their beat sooner. And I know Aiden would know a lot about that. So what will be some consequences of like Cloud not getting his beat in time for the Ram ult? Right. Of course. Of course. Oh, this is a huge Maywall from Spinal. Alright, we're taking some very aggressive space here on the side of Stout. Whitewater's having a tough time taking this. A very good Maywall and an even better Orisa ult. See the Coalescence bailing them out. Let's see if more ults get committed here. There's 2 more with the Blizzard, taking more space, just delaying the inevitable with Devin's overclock. Now, minute 6 does have the Annihilation online, but Cloud did manage to charge his beat, and so did Mustang Rider. There's a beat committed from him, and from both teams, actually. Both Death Blossoms in the tank, and Whitewater flip the point. Alright, traded the Reapers. Oh man, that's just a very good Maywall. Wow, very nicely played retake from Stout there. What are your thoughts on that, Aiden? Ah, alright, interesting, alright. Oh good, fair enough. All good, all good. Yeah, honestly, that was a really good fight, really well played from Stout. They kited quite well. Oh my gosh, the Reaper ult coming in. And then... oh boy, let's see how this plays out. We got Devin swapped onto that Tracer. Even more ults committed on the side of Stout. They're hoping to clean this map up right now. And they get to pick onto Arc. But Spinal Falls, that's an important pick. Looks like Whitewater just managed to come out on top. A lot of ults committed, very expensive fight for them, but in the end, they pulled a lot out of Stout. They're left, Whitewater is left with minute 6's Terra Surge, whereas Stout is left with nothing. They're close to the Reaper ult, they could probably farm Coalescence. Very curious to see what happens here. Alright, taking it slow from Stout. Looking for their... amp it up. Alright, there's the ult for minute 6. Trying to delay the point. Alright, a very big pulse bomb from Devin, but unfortunately he does manage to take himself out in the process. So 1 for 1. It looks like Mustang Rider did just manage to get the beat in time, but after this beats Stealthy Sock, he's going to have his Death Blossom. If he can stay alive, Oh, and he does manage to stay alive, but his supports couldn't quite do the same. And Whitewater are in this map a little bit longer on this point. Alright, this fight, Stout undeniably have an ultimate advantage. Doesn't mean they've won. If Mustang Rider can play around with his speed and try and kite his team away from these important ults like the Terra Surge or the Death Blossom, it's certainly possible that Whitewater can take this. Alright, well there's all three popped at once. No kills so far, but minute 6 manages to fall. Devin gets the kill on the Killjoy. This is big, and then... Oh, but the beat from Cloud might just be enough to close it out. They need to complete these kills, though. And it looks like Stout will flip the point. Minute 6 on the ball. Bark is very close to his Coalescence, and Arc has his attack visor. Killjoy gets another Coalescence. Possibly the second Coalescence of this fight? Maybe? And Stout just do manage to take it. Very close fight, very close round. Well played by both teams. I think those sound barriers really were a critical piece of every engagement. Whichever Lucio had them, it's tended to be the Lucio that won.
I could do this on my own.
Yeah, both Moiras really pumping numbers. Very impressive.
From imperfection, we build a new world.
Systems online. Weapons ready.
Alrighty, are we back online? Alright, perfect. Alright, well you missed a great round, unfortunately. It was 99-99, very, very close. Alright, and looks like key takeaways, definitely, I believe it was Killjoy farming their Coalescence, maybe just a little bit quicker than Bark. I mean, really, it was so fast. I don't know if it... Like, having those fights, having those Coalescences be the tiebreakers between, you know, who had more ults, and it just lets Stout have the ult advantage. Alright, Minix 6 get walled off. Yep. Pretty common to see the Symmetra on this map. I'm a little surprised Whitewater's not running it themselves, to be honest with you. Yep. Makes sense, makes sense. It is. That does put Master Bubble quite ahead of Minute 6 as far as ult charge goes. Then again, Devin coming up on his Pulse Bomb could easily change the tide of the fight. Stout opting to play very passively. Makes sense. No need to push when you already have the point. Alright, zoning the tank off from the rest of the team. Both beats go off and we have Kitsune Rush from Whitewater. Looks like if Minute 6 manages to survive this, it's going to be looking good for Whitewater. It looks like they've managed to stabilize, got a couple picks, and that is probably going to be the flip. Alright. Now, I know a lot of teams tend to opt to swap off the Symmetra once they lose the point the first time. Now, Stout has opted to keep it, which is not wrong, but definitely very interesting. That's true. And they're coming up on that Blizzard. They're also coming up on the Orisa ult, although it's a little further away, whereas Whitewater have the Pulse, the Terra Surge, and Dragon Strike to work with. Dragon Strike committed. Terra Surge doesn't connect. Oh. Indeed. And a clean fight for Whitewater. And just as you said, Stout. Yep. Stout did choose to dry fight. There was 3 ults for no ults, so we'll see how this next fight goes. If Mustang Rider can get his sound barrier up in time, then potentially it's looking very winnable for Whitewater. Alright. Opting to kite the rush, makes sense. Really solid Orisa ult. Wow. That'll do it. Very true. And now Whitewater's going to come back with their sound barrier, but Cloud also just about has his online. So depending on how fast Whitewater take this fight, it's true. Oh, a huge pick onto Mustang Rider. Wow. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Oh, wow. All right, and Mustang Rider does manage to get back in time with the beat before Stout quite take advantage of him being picked. Good for him. Wow, that is actually very, wow, that's impressive. Oh, do they manage to get the touch? They just do. Stealthy Rock falls. Killjoy falls. It's looking like we're going to be going to the 3rd point of Lijiang. Oh, wait a minute. He's staying alive like an Orisa does. If he managed to, oh my gosh. Wow. That was a huge play for Master Bubble. Yeah, Whitewater barely staying on the point, and Stout will take our map 1. That was incredible. That was really remarkable, actually. Yeah, honestly, the swaps from Stout really coming in clutch. Swapping off the Sim onto, I believe it was the Cass, worked out really well. He ended up getting his ult. I think. Damn, that's I mean, honestly, just a hero play from Master Bubble there. That was really thoroughly impressive. He did have it. He did have it. All right. So, map 2 is going to be, I believe, Escort. So, we will see. Yes, Whitewater picking the map.
We've seen them pick Circuit Royale before.
Yep. We've seen their circuit. We've seen their Rialto is also very good. I don't know if they're really looking to play that dive, but I know that they're really not looking to play probably the brawl again into Stout, who kind of seemed like they might have been managing ultimates a little bit better. They were taking their engagements and leveraging their tempo a little bit more.
That's true. The engagements are really good from Stout. You can see when they went in, when they went out.
Yep.
For example, for the Kitsune.
Yep.
In the middle of that second point, it was perfect. It was perfect, and that's what
it was.
Advantage to be able to win that fight in future fights as well.
Yeah, really.
They're up on the
ults. Very heads up play from Master Bubble with kiting the Kitsune, and then right as they come out of the Kitsune, the Orisa ult pulling them in further than they bargained for, and it really just won them the fight. And it looks like we have got Circuit next. All right. And I know that Whitewater is a formidable team. Devin Huge, a formidable Widow player. Very curious to see what he can do. That he has.
Told us that he's been practicing his Widow, so we might be able to see that come out.
I'm sure we will. Yeah, so if Stout doesn't have an answer in the form of another hit scan player, another Widow, it's gonna look to get a little creative here. See what they can do. Very excited though. I know Minute 6 is a very talented Sigma player. He does a really great job on that hero. Very good at controlling space. And Master Bubble clearly showed that he had a very high level of understanding of the game. He, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you can play Orisa, you can play Sigma. So, yeah. So if he can control space on circuit the same way he did on Lijiang, which obviously very different, but the principles are the same, then it's gonna be a challenge for Whitewater.
Yeah, we will see. I'm curious. I'm not sure exactly what team comps that Stout plays here, but we're expecting to see a poke where we'll have some sort of Sigma, most likely.
Yep.
And then 2 hit scan DPS is the typical what people play on this map. So expect to see a Widowmaker, maybe a Sojourn, maybe an Ashe. And then as for the supports, who knows? Supports don't matter on this map. Play Zenyatta if you want to, play Baptiste if you want to.
That's kind of true. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not playing Lifeweaver, you're probably fine.
After this match, who knows?
right, of course. We can't count it out yet. Yeah, we're about to see Whitewater rolling out on the Weaver.
We won't be, for those at home. We won't be.
All right, yeah, I know that potentially that third point can definitely result in some changes, though. I know Zarya has historically actually been quite good on that third point. And Dive is also a perfectly viable option there as well. But a really good Widow can definitely shut that down, as we know Whitewater is capable of. So, do we know who's defending first or who's attacking first? I don't think we do.
Don't know right now.
That's all right.
I told him a little quiet. Let's see if I can get that turned up.
All right. Looks like we're gonna have Whitewater on the attack. I tend to think the attacking side is a little bit more difficult, especially on that second point.
I think so too. Am I a little bit louder now? Do I sound a little better?
You sound louder to me.
Okay. See.
I might be able to do the same.
Attacking is tough on this map. It's
I
because
can't.
it's such a hit scan dominated map that if the defense can get a solid Widow play and get consistent picks, it's just so hard to attack into.
Yep, that is very
Perfectly.
true. Very true. It requires a lot of communication to know exactly where the Widow is, where you need to position, when you can peek, when you can't peek, what angles are safe, which ones aren't safe, and plus, if they have something like a Zenyatta or a Hanzo or even that Sigma, like where are these people playing? Do we know where the Zen is, where he's spamming from? Is it the same angle as the Widow? Are they giving us like a crossfire? It's can definitely be a challenge.
The other thing, especially on this first point, is that there's kind of a lack of off angles that attackers can take.
True.
So you only really have one funnel that you have to work through, and that's why it makes the Widow, Hanzo, any kind of thing like that so good, because they only have to look at one spot, and they can position from a few different spots too. So the attackers have to be wary of multiple angles, while the defenders are just looking at one spot.
Yep. Yeah. That the defenders definitely, I think, have a lot more angles to work with. They can set up high ground on that bridge. They can set up on the low ground behind the barriers in the back, all the way back. And honestly, the Widow can go for that jump shot up on the left from the defender side, and the attacker side could honestly do the same thing. It's just really is a lot of options from the defender side. Alrighty. Looks like we should be starting the map soon. Here we are. Curious to see what supports we'll be seeing from either team.
That's the most variable.
Yep. Yep. Expecting Bap Zen, but you really can't count out other supports.
Kiriko is an easy choice on this map.
Very true. Very true.
Mercy can.
Ready for battle.
A lot of people don't like Mercy. I personally think Mercy's really good on this map. But we do see
And
that.
looks like we're seeing a perfect mirror. All right.
I will snap it in half with my final breath.
Stealthy Sock and Devin Huge with the Widow duel.
No, Jack, what do you think the new ball changes? Did they work on
Let's
this map?
finish this.
Ball?
Give a little dive to counter.
Ball has historically been very difficult on this map. Even when in Season 3, when Ball was buffed with his minefield and he was actually like almost hard meta for a while, this was still probably his worst map. Because it's just so hard to get at the enemy team without being, rocked by Sigma or discorded by the Zen, or it's hard to find a surprise angle, right? But it absolutely could work, and I know that a team like Carthage with a player like Lunar Synergy, I'm sure they could figure it out. I'm certain. All right, Devin taking a sneaky angle. Can he find a pick? And he does find it. Very tense. Oh! Stealthy Sock coming back. And that's one of the reasons this map is so interesting. Definitely one of the most unique ones. DPS players from Whitewater trying to find any angle they can.
Trying to pressure out the Widow on this top. As long as the Widow's alive, it's almost so much. That's the main person to focus on.
Oh.
Make the Widow fall back. And now you can see that you get more aggressive on that.
Alright. That is true. And Minute 6 doing a great job taking all the spaces DPS has offered up to him.
No one can hide.
Trying to keep it as long as he can. With Devin down, it's going to be very challenging. And with, the Widow ult. Yep. That's just about going to do it. Oh my gosh. That was terrifying for Bark. That is true. Common spot for Widowmakers to try and hold.
So Devin did get a pick.
Personne
Fine,
n'échappe à
Hanzo.
mon regard.
And he activated his sights. So
And here we are. Couple ults from Whitewater looking to leverage this advantage. Master Barber has fallen, committing the Sig ult. And they... Yep. Guaranteeing the point. Yeah. I think it's perfectly fine. There'll be more Sig ults in the future. And then this fight, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see a dry fight from Whitewater, even if Stout decides to pull out the Flux. Because Stout has... It makes sense. Yeah, you want to keep your trance in sync with the Sig ult. Make sure you always have it when he has it. Makes sense to always use it. And what else are you even really trancing? Yeah. Excellent. Excellent use of cooldowns from minute 6. Just looking to kite the window a little bit. We have not committed the trance yet. We haven't seen anything. We haven't seen the flux. This is good. Yep, 2 ults from Stout for virtually nothing. Ark looking to take an angle. Dragon separating the tank from Stout. Minute 6 ends up falling. That Discord Orb is truly the worst.
No
Oh,
one
wow.
can hide
Very nice shot from Stealthy Sock. That is true.
Yeah. The Stout DPS will let you know if you're in a wrong spot.
Wow. Lots of mind games going on between the Widowmakers. See if a shot manages to connect. We get a body shot onto Spinal. We're looking to take some space with minute 6. Almost has that flux. Both Zens have their Transcendence online. Killjoy is 1 HP. Needs to stay alive. And they commit the Transcendence for the Dragon. Interesting. Nice shot from Stealthy Sock on a Bark. But Arc gets 2. Forcing Stout to commit their Transcendence if they want to stay in this fight. And now that they have, minute 6 gets to capitalize. And depending on how long Master Bubble gets to stall here, it's possible Stout gets another touch, especially with this Tracer. He really is. And that looks like it's going to be the second point for Whitewater.
No one can hide.
Interesting. Good pick. And now onto the Sombra.
Now I truly feel alive.
That's true, that's true. I think that's probably the case. Honestly, I'm not surprised to see Sombra, especially because Devin had popped his Widow ult right there, which is kind of the only threat Sombra has, aside from, you know, Immortality Field and that kind of thing. Wow, that is a brutal window.
Not so clever now.
Spinal on stealths, and it gets punished. That is true. Master Bubble committing the Gravitic Flux. No Transcendence from Mustang Rider. And it looks like that is going to convert into a fight win along with their window. But Whitewater are coming up on some very relevant ults. That is true. They did. Yep. And they're going to have their Transcendence online, but they need to get that fast before minute 6 decides it's time to Flux. Mustang Rider almost dies. Have to commit the lamp. And Whitewater is trying to take this high ground. Interesting choice to take the high ground, as since Stout doesn't have a Widow, it's a lot less threatening with just a soldier up there, although it does make sense to try and get them off here. Yeah, clearly Stout was not expecting it. They were not ready. And Master Bubble just getting ran down. Does end up falling? No. Not when his, yeah. And Trans to try and stall for as long as they can. Master Bubble. Swap into the Wrecking Ball for the touch. Minute 6 does end up falling, and so does Arc. So it's looking like these ults from Stout were enough. That is true. Yep. Yeah, that Transcendence from Killjoy to buy time for his Sombra to farm his EMP and then use it. Very impressive. As well as minute 6 potentially overcommitting a little bit onto Master Bubble. Oh, they do get the touch, but Stout is looking like... Alright, looking like it's not quite going to be fully capped, but just about there. Yep, 100%. That is a pretty good push, especially against DPS players as skilled as Stealthy Sock and Spinal.
Switching sides. Initiating match.
All right, we're probably going to be seeing a whole lot of the same. if you're Whitewater, you're probably thinking, need to pay attention to ults a little bit more, see what Stout may or may not have. I think if they keep doing a good job with those gravitic fluxes and playing around whether or not Cloud quite has the Transcendence yet, which honestly, Minute 6 has been doing a great job. He has. He really has. And that goes both ways as well. For the Zen, on either side, need to be very aware of what they're saving that Transcendence for, what they're farming it for. All right. Once again, back to the mirror. Very typical.
Yeah, when you're playing Zen on this map, that's the only thing you're thinking about.
Yep. Yep.
The main thing you're trying to do is alt track on this. Sneaky angle from Devin here.
That is true.
Ready to peek up and get a headshot.
Attackers incoming.
Actuating the barrier.
Stop the payload.
Who will my web snare today?
All right. Zenyatta taking an aggressive off angle. I like that, actually.
It's all about taking pressure.
He's,
He almost gets that from it.
that's true. Devin also gets him. Great pick from Ark onto the Widow, and then, all right, looks like first fight's going to be favored in the side of the defense. All right, and I think especially on this first point, whoa, big changes from Stout here. I was about to talk about the Widow duel, but it looks like we're committing to full dive. All right, that's true. It is tough, but we'll see if Stout is able to convert. Looks like
You must like
that is
having
true.
me
And there's the engage. Arc manages to find the headshot of Stealthy Sock, and Cloud falls as well, and it looks like the poke comp reigns supreme for now. Very true. Really nice shots from Arc. Spy checking never hurts. Oh. Alright, and it looks like Master Bubble again is swapping, this time to the Diva.
No one
Diva tending to favor maps that have lots of corners, lots of high ground. So we'll see how it fares here. Dragon coming out from Arc, trying to delay as much as we can. And the sights from Devin. Oh, whoa! What a shot! Oh my gosh! Arc is ripping them to shreds. Holy smokes, what a play. That was incredible. That was awesome. And Devin, a couple more body shots through a window. That'll do it. Although it was a somewhat expensive fight for Whitewater. They do have arguably their two most important ults. And with all the swaps from Stout, they're really not coming up on much. Although they do have the Kitsune Rush soon, this fight. That's true. We'll see if Cloud can manage to form his ult. And that doesn't quite get the sound barrier before minute 6 ults. And it looks like that'll do it this fight. That's true. But now, see, they're coming up on the EMP. And that's really important. Because Mustang Rider just used... Oh no, the stagger onto Master Bubble. That is brutal. Yeah, but since... Anyway, as I was saying, Mustang Rider just used his Transcendence. So the EMP plus the beat will probably be enough to win this fight. If not cap the whole thing.
30 seconds.
So we'll see. See how they decide to leverage these ultimates.
No one can hide from my sight.
Fight from Devin, making the Sombra's life hard. Sombra falls before she can EMP. But ooh, it's a nice pulse. Dragon does manage to take out Stealthy Sock. Gets that beat off. Arc is 1 HP. Oh my gosh. They're so low. Almost. Alright, still need some hero plays from Master Bubble if they're going to take this one. The Diva Bomb. The Sombra is coming back with their EMP if they can stall long enough. Lucio's almost back. We do manage to get one more touch. But that will do it, and Whitewater will take our second map. Very exciting series. 2 very different maps. And a great showing from both teams.
Play of the game.
That's true. Although, you know, they really only played one fight in the poke mirror, and oh, big flux for minute 6. Yeah, one fight in the poke mirror, and then they lost it and decided to immediately swap onto the dive. Not necessarily a wrong choice, as swapping early tends to be better than swapping late. That being said, we are going to be heading into our break now. We'll be back with our third map. Most certainly not our final map. Very exciting stuff coming up soon.
Is this a best of 3?
This is first to 3.
First of 3, okay.
All right. Yeah, so we'll be back in around 5 minutes.
the sunshine in your eyes. Not thinking twice, am I this down? Although I know you're all I want. How could I crave something so bad? My sweaty palms reveal a warning I should hear. But I don't care, you drive me mad. I'll ignore the truth and run to you.
All right. Welcome back. Back from our 5-minute break. All right. And it looks like our third map here is going to be New Junk City. Chosen by Stout. Definitely expecting to be seeing a lot of Lucio, a lot of potentially seeing some Junker Queen. Probably going to be seeing some Orisa from both teams. Would not be surprising. Potentially Ramatra as well. Definitely excited to see what comps come out. I know that at least one of the teams, I think both of them on Lijiang, at least on Control Center, were playing Reaper, and that is a hero that really could work, as well as Sojourn. So a lot of options, really. Honestly, yeah.
I wonder if it will be any better with Venture. I think Venture
True. True. Very
I
true.
haven't seen it yet so far. Do you know if they played Venture in the other games? In the Stout Whitewater, but what was the game before this?
It was Carthage and River Falls. Yep. And I don't know. I didn't see him, so maybe someone in the chat has some kind of forbidden knowledge, knows something we don't. That would be interesting to know. I'm kind of doubting that we're going to see some Venture based on the picks that we've seen from them already. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that they've been scrimming with their Sojourn and they've been scrimming with the Reaper, and they don't really want to stray away from that. And honestly, I respect that. That makes sense. Play what you know.
I also would expect to see Tracer here.
True.
especially
True.
on Whitewater.
Yep.
I know Devin Hughes plays a lot of Tracer.
He is, yes. He plays a lot of Tracer.
I'm not quite sure, but they did have Tracer earlier, so Tracer's really strong.
Very true. All right, and looks like we are jumping in. Interesting. Looking like we're going to see TP out from Spinal, and then I'm curious what he'll swap to, starting with that Reaper Tracer and the Orisa Mirror. All right, swapping over to the Tracer. All right, only difference being that Reaper on the side of Whitewater instead of the Sojourn. It really does. Really does. We'll see if Stealthy Sock can... Yeah, we'll see if he can leverage these off angles to try and pressure Whitewater's DPS away from his backline. Looking good. Master Bubble falling quite low. Yuko isolated herself. That tends to be okay. Forcing the Suzu, and she does let herself get picked. Interesting. It is. It's finally getting ran down there. Lots of spears connecting. Yep. Honestly, I'm surprised we didn't see one of two things. I'm surprised we didn't either see all of Stout sprint towards the point and just die there, and hope to cap potentially, applying enough pressure, or we didn't see them immediately speed out, back up, try and get their Curious TP back. Very true. Early rush from Whitewater. Yep. Forcing Stout to kite. Both Orisa ults coming online. Devin Hughes falls. And we're seeing the committal from Stout trying to close one out. They're making them fight for it. Death Blossom from Arc doesn't quite connect. Mustang Rider responds with his own beat, forcing Killjoy to ult. And now we're coming up on both DPS ults from Stout. Let's see if they decide to commit. They don't. Wise choice, probably. Cloud manages to fall, but aside from that, Stout is going to get the flip. Oh my goodness, with a huge pulse bomb. Well, I mean, maybe not necessary, but huge nonetheless. And Whitewater really did make it expensive for Stout. That's for sure. Stout ended up committing 4 ults, although that's true. So let's see. All right, here we go. Can he manage to find the pick on Arc? Oh my goodness, an excellent pick onto Spinal. He does fall. Overclock hasn't quite found anything yet. And now Bark is getting close to that Kitsune rush. Whitewater doesn't really need to play this one off too quickly. Forcing the point is great. I like that for minute 6. Controlling the high ground from Stealthy Sock. And they do manage to stall long enough to get their Kitsune rush. Mustang Rider falls low. Kitsune rush very properly kited. And now they have both Orisa ults online to work with. 6 manages to live. They need to get that Sojourn off that off angle. It looks like Whitewater has the beat though, and they have their Reaper ult. Let's see if they commit the Death Blossom. It looks like they don't need to. Bark already 70% to his next Kitsune. They used that at the start of this fight. Very true. Yep. I guess that's how Flashpoint is, honestly. The fights are fast and loose. Taking this high ground, great. This makes a lot of sense, although lacking that Sojourn, leveraging that high ground might not be the play. You're really just playing to deny theirs. Makes sense. Master Bubble looking a little low. Cooldowns have been drained. Kitsune rush from Bark. And the Pulse Bomb from Devin does end up being enough to kill Master Bubble. Alright, and a dry fight from Stout does manage to bait out 2 ults from Whitewater. 2 quite fast generating ults, but they can definitely leverage it this fight. Very true. And it looks like Master Bubble is just a little bit closer to his Terrace Surge. That may not matter. Stealthy Rock fall, or Stealthy Sock falls. Stout taking it slow. They're looking to engage. Yep. A big ult from Master Bubble. Killing Mustang Rider. Pulse Bomb doesn't quite connect, and both supports are down from Whitewater, so probably just going to try and stall this out as long as they can, die on the point, and then re-engage with, what is that, 4 ults all coming up? Yeah, beautifully played from Whitewater, honestly. Even though they did get picked early, they still have their beat coming up. They have the Pulse, Death Blossom, a lot of really, really great options for taking back this point and winning this last fight, getting this second point. That is true. Probably looking for a Death Blossom here. Cloud does fall, and so does Stealthy Sock. We got Killjoy with the Kitsune Rush. Probably not going to end up doing much, considering almost all of Stout has fallen. Final does manage to take out Mustang Rider. Oh, and oh my goodness, and Bark does commit the Kitsune Rush. Not something I was expecting. True, very true. Yeah, plus, if you look, Spinal was very close to pulling his Pulse Bomb out. And you know, if I'm Bark, I'm thinking my Lucio just died. If I get pulsed here, like honestly, the fight is looking a lot more losable than it was with the Orisa and the Tracer alive. It makes sense to me why who'd want to pop that Kitsune there. All right, and still both sound barriers available. Now Cloud gonna use his beat to engage. Bark almost falls. Mustang Rider does fall, and it's looking like resources are low for Whitewater. Oh my goodness. It looks like Stout is gonna be able to take this one. Now, really all Stout have to hold is the overclock. Coming up on the Kitsune, they'll have that latest fight, but assuming it goes late enough, so we'll Bark. Let's see what that Death Blossom can do. It's not shrouded by a sound barrier. Oh my. Kitsune overclock. Looks like very nicely kited, and then the counter rush coming back in. Arc does fall. Minute 6, looking to engage with the Terra Surge. A big Terra Surge. And it looks like Cloud didn't quite have the amp to get out of there. And Master Bubble very low, just trying to stay alive long enough. Stall for as much time as they possibly can. And really, really well kited from Whitewater. Backing off of that Kitsune and the overclock. Not easy to do. Very fast combo, especially with Cloud's amp. Then the counter rush back in when they know Stout is overextending, trying to get those final picks from the last few seconds of that overclock. Really masterfully played, actually, from Bark. Very impressive. See if either Tracer can get this pulse bomb to connect. That could definitely be the deciding factor at this point. Looks like he does manage to take Mustang Rider. Oh my goodness, looks like... The soldier swap from Stealthy Sock manages to be enough. Now the ults really are looking very even on both sides. Minute 6 coming up on his Terra Surge. We got Bark and Killjoy pretty much at the exact same percent to their Kitsunes. Honestly, it's definitely not something that I feel like you see a lot on Flashpoint, but I actually really like it. I think the quick rotates, and especially on a point like this one that's coming up, the high grounds can really be leveraged quite well. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies for soldiers to hide in. Wow, incredible Terra Surge from Master Bubble. Yeah, and that'll pretty much do it. Although Cloud does feel the need to commit to the sound barrier. Arc has been holding on to this Death Blossom for, I mean, I don't know, it's got to be like the last 4 fights now. He just keeps dying before he gets a chance to use it. It really is. Really true, really true. Yeah, even then. Yep. Yep. True. It's like kiting again. We got a sound barrier, or not sound barrier, Terra Surge, and here it is. And it was huge. It was humongous. All right, you know what? It was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. I like that. That's true. That's true. Yep. Yeah, very much. That was great comms from Whitewater. Very much in sync. Alright, just playing this, looking for some openings. No need to go fast, only 50%. Killjoy does find the pick on Arc, although Stealthy Sock does fall. Committing ults for Master Bubble. Oh, looks like perhaps some technical issues, and then oh my goodness, a perfectly timed sound barrier from Mustang Rider, but it's not enough to keep Minute 6 in the game. Let's see if they managed to find a flip here from Stout. Looks like they are. Making them fight for it though. That is true.
It was like that before. I don't know if those were the best games. 92% versus 99% on Flashpoint doesn't make a difference.
True. Now really all Stout has to do is leverage the ult they have, because Whitewater really doesn't have much. Bark is going to have his Kitsune rush very soon. Can we get the touch? The Tracer falls, but they do manage to get it. Reaper. Oh boy. Alright, yeah, it looks like they just managed to get out ulted. Bark did get his Kitsune, did commit it. Wasn't quite enough to win out that fight. And now, going into this next point, Cloud's gonna have his sound barrier, and Mustang Rider only 35%. So, if you ask me, it's, yeah. Yeah. Very true.
They were at 90%, but instead now that they were trying to rush back their later because they had the slopes, and they had to do pressure to touch point, and they weren't able to get the ults that they needed to win that.
Yep.
But they'll have enough to deal with those.
And Arc did make the swap off the Reaper onto the Soldier. Matching Stealthy Sock. This is great. Excellent job taking space. And he's doing it. Pulse Bomb committed from Spinal. Looks like that's gonna do it. That's true.
Go in and do what he needs to do.
All right.
The ults here. Stout doesn't have too much. They have B. But Whitewater doesn't have a lot either.
Yeah, what do you think Whitewater should be thinking about here, going into this fight?
This is a tough one for him. I want to just look at your DPS and see if he's gonna hit.
Oh, Devich does fall.
Charge. He's on the ladder to get that.
Can't quite get there. They have the time to spare.
This is okay. He's gonna get another fight if it's alright. If they would put a little bit more pressure and get their ults a little bit faster, this would be pretty good. But then gonna be able to go into this fight now. This is gonna be the last one, and we still don't really have that many more else than we would have had before.
Cooldowns committed from both Orissas. Minute 6, pressing the button, the cooldown button. Looks like we have both sound barriers. He's doing it, and he does manage to connect on Cloud. It's gonna be close. True. That's actually a very consistent thing between fights. Wow, these are clearly two very evenly matched teams. Very smart plays on both sides.
Hi. Hey there. What's up?
That is true. But,
Water going to this fight will have Bowser and Pulse.
yeah.
Stout will have everything. Stout will have everything.
And honestly, if there's any ultimate I would want to have going against a team that has everything, it'd be Sound Barrier. And they have it. So anything could happen. Looks like they're doing a good job kiting. Arc can't fall here. Stealthy Sock does die. Maybe get Sound Barrier for this. Alright, they're forcing Whitewater away from this space. Killjoy. That'll do it. Alright, ultimately, looking like Whitewater were just overwhelmed in that last fight. Too many ults to deal with. I'm not sure there's really any team that could deal with all that. Yep. And Stout, yeah, true. Yep. Stout would have had to make a couple mistakes, and they didn't. It is. We'll see what happens here. And then what kind of map is it next? I think it's hybrid. Yep.
So we'll see if we see that again. But I think Stout's going to be a pretty good King's Row team. If I was Whitewater, I might be thinking, what else we can do? So we've seen a lot of poke, and we've seen some dive
That we have.
from Stout.
Yep. Yeah, I know the last time we played on a very, so Stout have taken every brawl-focused map. They took New Junk, they took Lijiang. Both maps were incredibly close, just a couple very small changes, a couple tiny mistakes. Yep. Yeah, it really could have gone either way. But, I mean, Stout, the undeniable victors. So we'll see if they can pull it off on hybrid. Very curious to see what this map pick is. It could definitely be very dive favored. We could see a Numbani or something along those lines. Oh, next map's new. Oh, wow, we're just wrong. We're just very. It's just not even that. It's Queen Street. Well, you know, I mean, we tried. That's true, but I mean, here we are, not looking at that. Yeah,
Now that we see new Queen Street, that's interesting though because
It
there's a lot
is.
of flexibility on Queen Street.
it really is.
Dive on it. I think poke might be the most common, but you can also see a Junker Queen on it, and you can do a brawl.
True.
Anything's available there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're good at the comp you're playing, it'll almost certainly work on New Junk City, or not New Junk. Sorry, New Queen Street. Yep.
There's nothing we will have on this map.
Yeah, very excited to see what the tank picks could be. Honestly, I'd be a little surprised if it wasn't an Orisa Mirror again.
I think it'll be an Orisa Mirror as
Yeah,
well.
I have a hard time seeing anything else working.
The Orisa have been fantastic.
They have been, yeah. Both
It's
tank players.
aerodynamic, which is nice.
True, lots of team play coming out. You can tell both teams are calming really well. Lots of talking going on both sides. Even just little things you saw, like the soldier for Stout peeling for his tracer as she was coming back.
Absolutely, that might have been why they went Soldier as well. because
True.
It does work against the Tracer pretty well.
Very
That makes
true.
sense. That makes more sense, especially compared to Soldier.
Yeah, very true. Far more self-sufficient. A lot harder for Tracer to one-clip a soldier who's standing on his heel pad than it is to one-clip a Sojourn who's not looking at her.
And the Racket as well puts him down to what, 30 health? 40 health?
Something like that.
So you'll see. I'm
Yeah.
expecting, Orisa, probably
Probably the Kiri Lucio. Yep.
that most of the time.
Yep.
And then another Tracer, and could be a Soldier. Could see the exact same thing that we saw in this map.
Yeah, I really would not be surprised to see that.
I wouldn't either. I'm trying to think about what we should be looking for on this map.
Yeah, me too. I know on this map, it's very tank focused. Much unlike Circuit, which you saw earlier, which is very DPS focused. If some of the DPS are lacking or if they're not quite communicating properly, Circuit becomes a real nightmare. But it's definitely very different on Queen Street. Even if it's a similar comp, if your tank isn't pulling through, it doesn't matter. Ooh, I like that. And we can see, and the Mercy. Yep.
5,
Damn.
4,
Oh well.
3, 2,
They had us excited.
objective unlocked.
And it looks like we got minute 6 on the Ramatra. He is. He's very good. Honestly, in my experience, I think... Oh, my goodness. Really good Sojourn knee. Yeah, the Ramatra really can work against the Orisa. It really matters how he leverages his shield and his slow. Whatever he does in the meantime, whoever he's looking at, doesn't really matter all that much, but as long he's got to have one. He's got to have either the shield or the slow at pretty much all times. And it looks like he's managed them very well as Stout managed to fall in this first fight. Oh my. Get Yas. Yes, subbing out Arc here is definitely an interesting choice. That it is. I believe so, yeah. like minute 6 just trying to stabilize. Sports do manage to get back in time, but Devin not so lucky.
Starting to look at a fight, alt fight though here. See Marquez is all about. And Stout's a little bit behind, but the Tracer get alt.
A nice try on that one. We got the Kitsune Rush being kited as best they can from Stout. Minute 6 definitely feeling pressured. White possibly gonna see. Yep. Alright, they do find the trade onto Mustang Rider, and actually both supports from Whitewater managed to fall. But I know the oh. With Master Bubble falling. Excellent work from him. Oh. Trying to commit, find this kill. Looks like they don't quite manage to do it. True. Looks like both sound barriers coming up. A lot of big ults here. If you're Stout, what kind of advantage are you looking to leverage? I mean, do you pressure out the DPS? Do you pressure the supports? It's hard to say. Is that Sojin with her yeah. Well, clearly they didn't listen. Yep. All right. True. Wow. Nicely done. Those supports from Stout really feeling a lot of pressure from minute 6. A lot of pressure from Devin. Nicely done. Nicely coordinated from them. It's looking like the Kitsune Rush might be the decider of this fight. I think they might. Almost certainly will pop overclock as well. Let's see if we can get the forward spawn here on the side of Whitewater. Or maybe neither. All right, gonna get that cap uncontested with a. Yep, and with the Lucio down, the Orisa really can't get out. Managed to stabilize. Spawn's coming back. Orisa ult aggressively. Lots of ults, lots of pressure on minute 6, but the health is staying up there. They're trying to burn him down. Very true. Good observation, yeah. Oh. Bark has done a really excellent job farming these Kitsune rushes. Overclock and Kitsune here. Let's see if we can manage to find anything. Not quite being as aggressive as I thought. Oh wait, that was the other overclock. That is true. Alright, minute 6 does fall. It looks like the Kitsune on the side of Stout was enough. Although we do have sound barrier from Mustang Rider coming up. That they really haven't. That fight and the previous fight, they've really just been focusing everything they possibly can on minute 6. And I feel for that guy. That is rough. Oh my. Yep. She really can. And she can take it and she can apply it. Yep. Stout are going to be able to push this one. Let's see if they manage to take lead here. They probably will. But Mustang Rider doing a great job stalling at the point. Alright, big old fight. He's doing a good job. Let's see if they can convert this pressure. Check with the Ramatra ult over. We're back to the neutral. And Master Bubble as well, almost to his Terra Surge, and looking like he wants to farm it now. Alright. Minute 6 down. Probably not going to be needed here. And wow. They are cleaned up. And the lead is the side of Stout. That is a great swap. Let's see if it manages to be enough. I could have also seen the Orisa mirror, not unrealistic. Oh my goodness. Minute 6 taking so much pressure. Sojourn never lies. Oh, she always says it ends now, and she's always right. Yeah. Alright, Devin does manage to find the pick. Let's see what else he can do. Wow. Really, really nicely done from him. And a great overclock from Yas as well. That's true. Lot of experience. Alright, Stout does end up getting these close spawns, but Whitewater definitely have the ult advantage going into this fight. Let's see if Cloud can manages to farm the beat. He certainly will be able to. That is true. Well, that could also be used this fight, potentially. Alright. Stout committing their support ults. Forcing the beat on Mustang Rider. They get to keep the grab, and Cloud does not have that sound barrier anymore, so unless Master Bubble manages to make a hero play, eat that thing, next fight's definitely looking favored for Whitewater. Really good Terra Surge. Does come out. Minute 6 falls. Spinal's also down. Let's see. Whitewater can commit a couple more kills. Both Lucio's traded. The overclock. It's just too much. Wow. Great fight for Stout. Playing around that grab. Minute 6. Swapping over to the Mauga. Looking to try and touch. That could potentially be a fatal error, as Whitewater, me too, and now Whitewater gets to keep their coveted close spawn. Huge pulse from Devin. Final commits his two. Both supports are down to the side of Stout. Whitewater has to cap this, or else the series is over. Spark does commit. Let's see if they can keep going. If Master Bubble manages to form that Terra Surge, it's gonna be difficult. That's for sure. They need to get that sound barrier. And Spinal is swapped onto the Bastion. That is true. Oh boy. Kitsune. Oh, just in time to save Minute 6. Let's see if Minute 6 manages to stay alive in the face of the Bastion. He doesn't quite get to do it. Devin! Well, it's not over yet. They got a lot of picks. The DPS on the side of Whitewater. The Mustang Rider falls. Still needs to take care of this Orisa on point. The Kiriko is very low, but the Orisa is full health. Oh my goodness, but he has the pulse. He has the pulse. If this needs to connect. All right, missed it there, but just falls. Minute 6, back on the ball. Oh, the Sojourn is 1 HP. The Bastion manages to get him. And oh my goodness, what a map. What a fight. Whew. Great swaps from Stout onto that Bastion. It was really close. Really well played from both teams. Wow. Oh my gosh.
This ends now.
That's true. Really well played for Stout. Really nicely done. Very impressive. Yep. Holy smokes. All right. Looks like we'll be wrapping things up here. We got 2 more matches for you today. One more. Let's see. One of these times. We got one more at 4:30. We got Stevens Point versus Milwaukee. And then our team, MSOE, at 6:15 versus Madison. That'll be exciting. Very, very pumped to see what happens there.
So now that Stout won, they're going to be going against Carthage.
Yep.
The next one, and Whitewater will be playing River Falls
Yep.
tomorrow, right? I think what's supposed to be tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Yeah, that's very exciting. Can't wait to see how Carthage deals with Stout's play. They put on a great show today, and let's see if they can keep it up tomorrow. All right, we are signing off for now.
And soon we'll get on to the next match.
All right,
I don't know who the casters are
very
for the
good.
next match.
I don't know either. All right, we'll figure that out. All right, very good.